Good evening. How's everyone doing?
Hi.
So,
Howdy. Am I too loud or let me move this back some?
No, that's fine.
We're just warming up here. We're waiting for people to load in and then we'll get started. Mr. Francis, how you doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Francis? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Francis? One. We would like to ask that everyone place their name and email address in the chat if you haven't done so already.
Are we putting our Susla email or our personal email?
Whichever one you prefer to be contacted by. And who do we have with us this evening?
Hey, this is Fred.
Ah, Fred.
Hey, you know you can go out there and change your name on that.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I'll
go.
be Lonnie for tonight, I guess. Can you hear me, Mr. Francis?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can hear you.
All right. So if you haven't noticed, we have a bit of instruction in the group chat. If you would attend to that business before this session is over with regard to the survey and the information submission so that we can provide you with some updates and you can give us some feedback as to what works and what doesn't work with the session. So while we're waiting, if you would like to turn your cameras on so that you can see our guest artist for tonight before we get started. So I can stop sharing this. So we have Mr. Eric Francis there. My name is not Dr. Lonnie McRae. My name is Rodriguez Davis. I'm the department head and a professor in the Department of Visual and Performing Arts at Grambling State University. I'm one of the management team members here, and I will be doing my best to host and facilitate this workshop, the first part of our kickoff for this investigation into the painting process with Mr. Eric Francis. So would you all like to take a minute to introduce yourselves and then we'll get into the good stuff.
Hi, I'm Louise. I participated in your previous session earlier this week. I'm from Canada, in Ottawa. And I'm here to see if I can pick up some new techniques in how to improve on portrait painting.
Cool. Welcome back, Louise.
Thank you.
I'm Kate, and I don't have a webcam currently, so I apologize for that. I will work on that, but I'm interested in portraiture for art, so I'm very excited to take this class and see what I can learn.
Cool. Where are you joining us from?
Here in Shreveport,
Okay.
actually, so.
Hey, Ms. Gillette.
Hello, how are you guys?
All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, the sessions will be recorded, just as a note before we get to the rest, so that you'll be able to see them later, just in case there's anything you need to follow up on. Did we get all the introductions? No, we did not.
I'm Jennifer.
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm all right.
I'm doing this for some extra credit, but I also do like to draw, and I guess you call it doodling.
Okay.
Never really got a lot into it.
All right. If you need to, you can put your instructor's name in the chat along with yours, just in case. We don't glean it from the form, so we can make sure that you get credit for it.
I think we have somebody else on this call too.
Okay. You have a Brittany, Titus.
Mr. Daniels? Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
That's your surprise, Eric Francis.
Wow. 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 Oh my gosh. Wow.
We can't hear you, Titus.
Mr. Daniel, we can't hear you.
Hey, that is. Oh my gosh. Wow.
We lose him?
I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Wow. Wow. Oh, we lose.
Yeah, I told you I had a surprise for you.
Oh my God.
So do we have any more introductions before we get started? You don't have to. We're just trying to, make friends before we hit the road here.
I'm Kelly McDade, and I am on William's iPad, so it doesn't have
Okay.
my name on there. I have my name. But anyway, I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks.
Welcome. All right. So, as I stated, my name is Rodriguez Davis. I'm one of the management team members, and I want to remind you all or inform you of a few things that are coming up as part of the culmination of our project here before we get into Mr. Francis's work. The date of the exhibition that will culminate from the alumni work is October the 23rd. The date of the virtual performance is Saturday, October the 24th. If you are an alumni artist, we ask that you introduce yourself in the Zoom chat so we can make sure that we're keeping up with everyone and cross-referencing our lists. Are there any school-related announcements, any instructors here, any students that have anything they need to share, any community announcements before we get started? No? That sounds like a no.
Well, I actually have a guest on here that I'd like for him to say something
Okay.
before you get started here.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Titus Daniels. He's the son of Mr. Roosevelt Daniels,
Okay.
which was the art instructor.
See if we can unmute him.
And
There we go.
Mr. Roosevelt's grandson.
Titus.
We can hear you, Mr. Daniel.
Wow. Wow.
Can you hear me, man? Am I coming through?
can hear you. I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. And this is Mr. Maxwell. Maxwell Roosevelt Daniel.
Wow.
It's an honor and a pleasure, man. Hey, man, it's awesome to have the opportunity to talk to you guys, man.
Oh my
Where
God.
you joining us from?
I can't hear anything if y'all talking, but hey, man, I appreciate the opportunity. And it's good.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hey,
He's calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
thank you for joining us.
can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell, but Max wanted to say hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you.
It's really awesome to get with you guys, man. I appreciate the opportunity. What a way to honor this memory. I'm more thankful than I can say. What a surprise. Thank you, Fred. And I appreciate you, brothers, for getting together in his name, man. That's awesome. What are you doing? Stop, Max. Stop.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, man. But I just want to be able to dial in and throw the deuces. And for the Southern University family, to the Pomoja Art Society, to Moss and everyone that's in this community, and we've been here forever. Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. And so does this little one. He didn't get a chance to meet his granddad, but, man, does he have some shit to say. And he looks just like him. So, man, I appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, man.
Cool. So that's how you get things started.
Right.
All right. So before we jump into our introduction, curated and created by Mr. Fred Moss, introducing Mr. Eric Francis, we do have a homecoming introduction. But I do want to mention that break time will be around 6:45, and then we'll pick back up and jump back into our things, and then we'll stop just in time to answer some additional questions. If you do have questions, feel free to go ahead and I will ask those of Mr. Francis as we proceed, and then we'll pick up the rest of them on the back end. All right. So we're going to move to our presentation, our introduction, I should say, and then we'll get into the work.
HBCU Homecoming 2020 Stuzzler GSU Artist Reunion Zoom Masterclass Series Visual Arts Workshop. Sponsors for the event: the National Endowment of the Arts, Verizon, AT&T, the Shreveport Regional Arts Council, the City of Shreveport, and the Carolyn W. and Charles T. Beard Family Foundation. Tonight's featured resident artist is Eric Francis, a contemporary realist acrylic painter, teacher, and videographer. He was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York by his Haitian parents, along with his 6 brothers and sisters. His love for art advanced at Southern University, Shreveport, under the teachings of the late Roosevelt Daniels, where he went on to receive an associate's in studio painting. The major subjects in his work of art are portraits, floor paintings, and still lives. He also creates videos documenting the process. His artwork can be found in many private collections. He was part of the artist team that painted the mega mural located at the downtown section of Shreveport. Tonight's featured resident artist is Eric Francis.
Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Francis.
Hello,
if you would mute yourselves and turn your cameras off.
Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be teaching this class. Oh my gosh, we've been planning this for a while, and I'm going to jump right in. So I'm treating this like painting 101. We're going to be doing a portrait. I've seen some of you before. You were here on Tuesday. Hey, Lois. Nice to see you again. But yeah, we're going to jump right into action, okay? I just needed to know, does everybody have art supplies? Because I had a supply list. I don't know if everybody has everything. You know, type in the chat if you have paints, paintbrushes, and all the supplies I was asking for.
Good yeses.
Bunch of yeses. Because that's great. That's great. I didn't know if everybody's gonna have everything. I made another lesson just in case. We had a few people who didn't have everything. Okay, so we can move right along. Let us begin. So, what we're gonna do today, we're gonna start from the beginning. We're gonna start with the first thing. So, because we're gonna be covering all the basics, let's start with the paintbrush, of course. And this is your basic paintbrush, okay? We'll be going over the parts of the paintbrush. So you have the handle, the ferrule, and bristles. Now, the crimp connects the ferrule to the handle, and the heel connects the bristles to the ferrule. So when we're painting, the tip of the brush is called the toe, and the body of the brush is called the belly. I don't know why they called it toe and belly. It seems kind of silly, but anyway, most of the paint is inside the belly of the bristles, you know, and there's very little paint inside the toe. So when you're painting and you want to cover a large area, you have to make sure to squeeze all of the paint out of the belly of the brush. And you just use the toe for, like, if you're making a lot of details. So that's just something to keep in mind while we're painting. So let's move forward to what our first project is going to be. We're going to make a painting of this young lady. It's just something I created from my imagination. Now the idea is to learn how to add paint to the canvas. We're going to be painting in layers. This painting is going to take about 4 layers of paint. So what I want you to do is, well, does everybody have the handout?
I think we have at least 1 or 2 who couldn't get the printout to print.
Okay, okay. If you couldn't get the printout to print, could you draw it on the canvas? If you need help drawing it on the canvas, I'll go over some steps and we can just draw it together.
I think we're going to draw if they don't have it.
Okay, I guess we're going to draw.
So where do we get the printout? Did I miss something?
I created a link inside the videos. I put on, had some videos that I put on YouTube, and there was a link inside the homecoming page that I created on Instagram.
Okay,
But-
so I did miss it.
I'm going to place those links in the chat.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna draw. All right, so let us start. All right. So, see if everybody can hear me okay. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so our first step, what we're gonna do first is we're going to draw 2 lines, one horizontal, one vertical, right through the center of the canvas. And so this is what we're gonna be drawing. So I want everybody to do that on their canvas. Type in the chat when you're ready to move forward. All right, everybody ready to move forward? Our
No,
second step.
I still don't have it because that link is for the supply list. I don't see in the supply list where the printout is.
I'm pulling that link now.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
All right. Here we go.
So our second step is we're going to draw the face, or we're going to do a basic outline of the face. So what I want you to do is just draw an oval shape. This represents the head. So it's going to be wider at the top, and it'll be slimmer going towards the bottom. And when you're ready to move forward, just let me know.
Okay, I do
Okay,
have a
so-
print. I do have it printed now. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. The next step is we're going to draw the ears. Now the face is a series of curves. This line is the brow line, and the ears, they meet the brow line. So we're going to draw the ears. It's just a series of curves. You're just going to have one curve, you're going to have a larger curve, and then you're going to have a smaller curve. So in all, you have 3 curves. And then you're going to draw a curve for the inside of the ear, and you're going to draw a couple more curves for the inside of the ear. And the next ear is basically the same thing, just a series of curves. So you're going to have one short curve, followed by a larger curve, followed by a smaller curve. And the ears should be lined up. So this one is a little bit shorter. Just have to make it a little bit longer, a little bit bigger. So. And if the drawing is a little bit off, that's fine. Because we're not perfectionists around here. We're trying to do it the best we can. All right, when you're ready again, let me know.
Good.
Okay, we're gonna do the eyebrows. So this is the brow line. The eyebrows won't go much higher than this brow line. And again, series of curves. So I'm gonna do one curve, followed by like a little line. I'm gonna do the next curve. Both eyebrows are basically the same. So we got ourselves a couple of curves for the eyebrows. They're basically like Nike check marks. When you're ready, let me know. Alrighty, we're gonna move on to do the eyes. Now, I'm gonna draw a line right here to make sure the eye is lined up. Now the eye is gonna be almond shaped. This part of the eye is lower than the back part of the eye. And we leave a little space for the tear duct. And we do the same for the next eye. The front part is lower than the back part. And we make the eyes large because we're painting a child. And that's one of the characteristics of children. They seem to have very large eyes. And we want to make sure everything is symmetrical and lined up, so we can draw a light line to make sure everything is lined up straight. And right towards the center, again, we're going to draw some circles. And we're going to draw an eyelid, which is again just another curve. Now the thing about the human face is God is amazing because the face is so symmetrical. You can actually fit an eye shape in between the eyes. You should be able to. When you're ready, let me know. We move on to the next step. All right, everybody's ready? We're going to draw the nose. Now the nose, naturally, it fits right in between the eyes. And we're going to draw it along the bottom line of the ears. So we're going to draw one center line. We're going to make it curve outward. And we're going to curl around this way. And do the same for the next one. I made it a little bit too, it's a little bit off. So here we go. It's going to curve outward. So just one line. It's going to curve, curve. Got the line, curve, curve. And you have yourself a nose. When you're ready, let me know. We can move forward to drawing the lips. All right, so for the lips, we're going to draw halfway between the bottom of the nose and the bottom of the chin. We're going to make a line. That'll be the center line for the lips. And now the lips aren't much larger than the nose. So if you drew a line from the corner of the eye and the corner of this eye, you would have the edge of the lips. And again, the lips are a series of curves. So we have one curve here, we have another curve here, and we'll finish with another curve here. And there we have the upper lip. But then again, I'm going to draw one more curve here, one towards the center, and another towards this end. The bottom lip is just one large curve. If you're ready, just let me know. We can move forward. So the next step is we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw the hair. Now the hair is pretty simple. We're going to draw just one circle going like this, or a semicircle, going all the way around, almost like a little afro. Erase that. And we're going to draw a round bun, kind of like that. We're going to go in and we're going to draw the hairline. And it kind of cuts in right around here. And it curves. It goes right along the forehead. Again with a series of curves. I'm going to repeat myself a lot. But here we go. And you have the hair. We're ready to move forward? We just got one more thing. We have to draw the shirt. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw the shirt. So we're going to start off with a curve right by the jawline. Then we're going to follow that up with another curve by the other side of the jawline. And we have the shirt kind of hanging off of the shoulder a little bit, so it's going to curve in this way. It's going to curve out that way. And there we have it. Okay, after you finish the drawing, just go ahead and clean it up. You're going to erase all these construction lines. And the construction lines are good because they kind of keep your drawing symmetrical. And if your drawing is kind of dark, and even if it's not kind of dark, you want to kind of just lightly touch it with the eraser, because you don't want these lines to show through while you're painting. So just lightly go everything with your eraser. Go over everything with your eraser. All right. Whenever you're ready for the next step, you guys let me know. All right. All right, let's move forward. All right. So we have the drawing. So the next thing we're going to do is, okay, we got that. We already had you guys trace. And your canvas should look something like this right now. So our next step is going to be to mix paint. So I like to measure paint in parts. Now a part is a unit of measurement. So whatever you squeeze out of the oh, hold on. Just a second, y'all. All right, so I measure paint in parts. A part is a unit of measurement. What that means is whatever you squeeze out of the tube is a part. So this little dot of paint is one part of paint. So this second is another part of paint. And we mix them together and we get our first color. So again, whatever you squeeze out of the tube equals one part of paint. So we have one part of burnt sienna, one part of Naples yellow, and one part of titanium white, and that's going to be our fourth color. And then we have to make sure that we mix it thoroughly. Now, we're going to mix the paint with a brush. If you have a palette knife, you can use a palette knife if you like, you know, and add a few drops of water, just a few drops of water. You don't want the paint to become too thin. So if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start mixing some paint.
Eric, can I ask? I don't have Naples yellow. Is there a workaround?
Sure. Just use sienna.
Instead of Naples yellow?
Yeah, just use sienna.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. So these are the colors that we're going to use. And here are the formulas. So our first color is going to be 1 part Mars Black and 1 part Burnt Umber. Let's go to the camera and I can show you. So let's move this out the way. Here's a palette. So our first color is going to be Mars Black. And as you can see, I'm not using that much paint. We're not going to really use so much of this color. And a little paint goes a long way. And 1 part Burnt Umber. And you're just going to add a little bit of water, just a couple of drops so the paint can move around. And you're going to grab your smallest brush and you're going to mix them together. Once you mix it completely, that'll be our first color. Our next color is going to be 1 part burnt umber and 1 part burnt sienna. Once you've mixed the first color, let me know when you're ready to move forward. Is everyone ready to move forward? Let's go to the next color. And that was 1 part burnt umber and 1 part burnt sienna. Burnt umber. And then we're going to add some burnt sienna. Add just a few drops of water and mix. Wipe the brush off, dip it in the water, swirl it around, and we wipe it off again. So, I don't know how experienced you guys are at painting, so I'll just do this on camera. So, get the brush dirty, just dip it in the water, swirl it around, make sure you touch the sides, wipe it off, dip it back in the water, swirl it around some more to make sure it's completely clean. Then we wipe it off on the towel. When you're wiping off on the towel, if it doesn't leave any residue, then your brush is pretty clean. All right, color number 3. Let me know when you're ready to mix color number 3. All right, guys, we're almost ready for break. Almost ready. We got about 5 minutes before break. Are you ready for the next color? Here we go. And that color is it's 1 part burnt sienna and 1 part Naples yellow. All right, so we have the burnt sienna. And a little Naples yellow. All right. And we add a few drops of water. Not too much. And we mix them together. Now, I love to pre-mix my paints. When I'm painting, I have nothing to think about but the painting. Like the goal is to get into the zone. There's this area you can get into while working on art, you know? And you get into that zone where you don't have much to think about. So I like to arrange my area the same way every single time I work. So it almost becomes second nature. I know my brushes are always going to be to the left of me. The water is always going to be to the right. We got about 2 minutes to break. So, you know what? I think we're at a good stopping point right now. We can go ahead and break if you want to break right now. And we'll meet back. Let's say we take a 15-minute break. So we'll meet back at 6:58. Sound about right? We just meet back at 7 o'clock. How about that? If you have some saran wrap or something to cover this thing with, maybe a sheet of paper, you can just use it to cover it. I recommend you get some saran wrap. You can wrap this thing. It will stay wet for a really long time, guys. Let's go ahead and take a 15-minute break.
All right. So if you have any additional questions that you'd like to drop into the chat, we can ask Mr. Francis during the second part of our session, or during the question and answer period afterward, and we can get to that. Also, if you haven't done so, and before we get too far gone, make sure that you go ahead and open up that link for the survey.
Relaxification is a process of acquiring or restructuring a language. Some languages have a verb system that is aspectual and some having a tense system. So relaxification has occurred for African speech in that you won't find a copula verb. She, gone. We don't have a verb to expressly predicate present tense. They mind. There's no verb to be.
No possessive state.
No possessive or copula verb in anything called linguistics.
Hey, whose music is that? That sounds nice.
This is Nicholas Payton,
Okay.
the Afro-Caribbean mixtape.
All right. It's fusion jazz.
I love
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'll put a link to the album in the chat.
Okay, cool.
love to learn. My biggest inspiration. I was supported all of that. And just so you know, at this time, my mother and father had this. We were working on this.
All right, everyone, we're going to be getting started again shortly here. How's everyone doing out there?
We're good.
Making any progress?
I'm kind of getting all my supplies together. I wasn't too sure the pace that this was going to take, so I was not as well prepared as I would have liked.
Gotcha. Well, we joked that we're building this airplane as we go, which is as much as we have worked out, is still making itself, which is a good thing. It's a learning process, but it's worked out fairly well so far.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure that you were going to start in the paint today, so I didn't get I have a Stay Wet palette I really enjoy. So I use that a lot, and it does hold the paint, the acrylic paint, for quite some time. You're going to use it for a couple of weeks at least.
Yeah.
So I'm getting my stuff ready.
Cool.
Are you going to post again the ratios for the colors? Because I didn't get the color number 4.
Yeah, I'll text Mr. Francis, because I think he has it as a screen cap that you can probably drop into the chat.
Okay.
I'll put it up on the screen so you can see.
Okay.
I'm sure I already have them. You had them up. That's the same one you had up on your YouTube videos before, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Good. Right up on the screen. Here we go.
Thank you. Oh, there's color number 5 I didn't see.
It's the titanium one. But you don't have to add it right now. I usually wait to add that last.
Yeah. I'm actually just writing it down so I have it.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure we're going to be able to finish all this today anyway. So we'll continue next Tuesday and finish it off. Like I said, you didn't have any Naples yellow?
No, I didn't, but I actually have raw sienna. I have a M. Graham. It's a higher quality than the other paints that I have. The raw sienna is nice. It's probably going to give a darker skin tone than what you're going to get.
Yeah. Well, since you don't have Naples yellow, just add just burnt sienna and titanium white is fine. You just have to make sure color number 4 is lighter than color number 3.
Oh, okay. So not raw sienna.
No, not raw sienna. It just has to be lighter.
Yeah. All right.
All right. It's 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and start. Everybody ready? Everybody excited? We're about to make a painting.
All right.
Okay. So last thing we did was mix color number 3. We're going to move on to color number 4. And the color number 4 is 1 part burnt sienna, 1 part Naples yellow, and 1 part titanium white. Now we're going to be using a lot of this color, so I'm going to mix more of this than I did of the other colors. So we go here. So let's not look at that. Let's look at this. So as you can see, we're mixing the color that's in the background and right around the center of the face. And again, that color is 1 part burnt sienna, 1 part Naples yellow, and 1 part titanium white. So let's kind of slide this over just a little bit. So we're gonna start off with sienna. Now we're gonna add some Naples yellow. And we're gonna finish off with titanium white. And of course, we add just a little water. And we mix them together. And we mix them all the way together. And it comes up to be like a light skin tone brown. Alrighty. Now I'm going to clean off my brush. So I'll bump this out the way a little bit. Just gonna clean this off. Just mix it around. Wipe it off. I'll mix it around again. And I'll wipe it off. You shouldn't leave any residue. If it leaves residue, then it's not gonna work. All right, that's pretty good. That's just the color of the shirt now. And I like to use old shirts, old rags, that kind of thing to wipe my brush off with, you know. All right, guys, when you're ready, let me know. We can move on to the next step, which is painting. This is exciting. Okay, ready, ready, ready? Now, I'm not gonna add the 5th color, which is titanium white, because we're not really gonna use it right now. Titanium white is part of the last step. It's what part of the, it's one of the last things that we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start to paint soon. But it's a good idea to have your reference picture somewhere close to you so you can look at while you're painting. Now the painting is gonna be completed in 4 stages. Let's go look at some pictures. So our first step, this is like the ugly stage of painting. The paint looks really spotty, you know? But the idea is to fill the canvas with paint. You're not being super careful, but you're actually taking your time and you're working yourself through it. For the second layer, you build up the paint some more. And as you can see, the paint is still really spotty. Certain colors, they fill up or they cover the canvas better than others. like the Mars Black, it works the best. This this color number 2, it doesn't fill the canvas really good. Color number 4, it fills up the canvas pretty fast, but we're gonna get to see that in a minute. I don't think we're gonna get past our first 2 steps right now. And if you guys, whenever you guys are ready, just let me know. We can jump to it. We can hop to it. Here we go. Is everyone ready? Type in the chat if you're ready. All right, so for this first layer, you get a general idea of what it is we're gonna be doing. You're just trying to fill the canvas with paint. You don't have to be perfect right now, but you just wanna get the paint on the canvas. So let's put this palette up here. I think you guys are ready. And so we're gonna use the, if you have a number 4, 5, or 6 round brush, that's what we're gonna use right now. We're gonna start by painting the hair, and we're gonna use color number 1. So before we begin to paint, we have to dip our brush in water. And you don't want the brush to be soaking wet, but the brush has to have a little water inside of it. Then swirl your paint, swirl your brush around the paint. Now the idea is to have total control over your paintbrush. So I swirl it around and then I wipe it off. You don't want to have way too much paint on this brush. Let's zoom in on it. Not catching it. But as you can see, I'm making a point with the brush. You want your brush to look like that. You want to make like a perfect, as perfect a point as you possibly can by swirling the brush around, squeezing some paint out of it. Forming the point. Now, once you have that, we're going to start by, we're going to go around the edges. We're going to paint around the edges first, okay? And you want to be sure to, like, you want to paint, you got to make sure you're painting with the paintbrush and you're using the whole brush, and then you're not just using it like a pen. So you want to be able to squeeze all of the paint out of it. And as you can see, paint is stretching across the canvas. Your paint is stretching across the canvas. It's not stretching, it's brush to the water. Make sure you have enough water on your brush. Just stretch. You don't have to rush. Just take your time. Take your time. Yeah. You go right around the edges. That's why you form the point. You form the point, and you're almost painting like you're using a pen. So you can paint with the point. That's just so you get the edges right. Use the point of the brush. Then lay the brush down flat and you squeeze all of the paint out of the brush. All of that paint is inside the body of the brush. You're squeezing all of it out right now. Just want to take your time. Don't rush it. Again, if your paint is not spreading out, just with very short brush strokes, you should be able to make long brush strokes. If you can't make long brush strokes, add a little water to your paint, just a few more drops. Right now, I'm cleaning off my brush a little bit. You notice that your brush is getting a little stiff. Just clean the brush off and start again. Right around the edge of the hairline. And we're not worrying too much about being perfect or getting things perfect. Filling this thing up with paint. All right, go right along the outside edge. And you want to be careful to smooth all the paint out so it doesn't form any ridges on your canvas. I like my painting to be as flat as possible. And by flat, I mean that you won't see any brush strokes in this painting. That's by design. Paint is self-level. If you put a little bit too much here or a little bit too much there, it's not really that big of a deal. It'll level itself out. Just gonna go ahead and round this out. All right, good. Now, you don't want to overwork it. You don't want to do too much right now at this stage in the painting. Because if you overwork the paint, you're going to end up lifting paint off the canvas. It's going to leave a light spot. Whatever you have on there is fine. Like I said, the painting is completed in 4 layers. So it's not all done immediately right now. Again, you don't have to be perfect. I know a lot of artists who are perfectionists. Man, that really works against you. You want to get it as good as you possibly can. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, guys, in about 15 minutes, we're going to start wrapping it up, and we're going to have some questions. Now we're going to move over to the smaller brush, the number 2 round brush, and we're going to paint the eyebrows. In. Eyebrows. Start off by painting with the tip of the brush. and then we flatten it as the eyebrow gets wide, filling up that whole entire space. Being careful not to overwork it or trying to make it too perfect all at once. Using just a point to go around the edges. And we do the same for the next eyebrow. Now, because I'm left-handed, I tend to start on the right side and work my hand this way. That's just so I don't get my hands dirty. And also, while I'm painting, I like to rest my hand on the canvas. If you can rest your hand in your elbow, just get your hand and your elbow rested on the canvas, you can make some really nice, sharp lines. It gets kind of difficult when you're painting and you have your hand lifted and your elbow lifted. So it'd be a good idea to find a way to rest your hand and your elbow while you're painting. So I'm going to move on to painting the ear, the inside of the ear. We're going to go ahead and we're going to paint the eyelashes and the eye. So for the eyelashes, I'm not going to put all the detail in right now. It's still a little bit wet, but I'm just going to angle my hand. Here we go. There we go. And we're just going to use a dark line for now to paint the eyelashes. Now, I'm doing that because it just gets difficult painting around each eyelash. I'm going to go ahead and paint the eye in. And I'm going to paint through the highlights in the eye. I can add those in later with titanium white. We're going to paint all the way around the eye. And we're leaving some space for color number 2, which is the color of the eye. All right, I'm going to move over to the next eye. All right, we're going to start by painting the next eyelash. And as you can see, I'm just using the very tip of the brush. because it's such a small area. Now I'm going to move on to paint the rest of the eye. I'm going to go all the way around the eye. And I'm going to go in and paint the rest of the dark spaces. Now, generally, when I'm painting, I don't name anything. I just think of everything as angles and curves. I think of everything as angles and curves and just areas of color. Because in reality, that's what you're doing. And when you think that way, it gets you into the artist mode of thinking. Because when you're in the artist mode of thinking, you're thinking of everything as angles and shapes and colors, and you're seeing how everything fits together. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and paint the nostril. And you know what? Let's paint the other ear. And now we're gonna go in and paint the nostrils. And we're using the very tip of the brush to paint the nostrils. All right. And we're going to paint the shirt on the right side. And we're going to switch brushes. I'm going to go to the number 6 round brush. And go in and we're going to paint along the edge. And then we're going to fill in the space. And we try not to, and we don't overwork it. That's just gonna make problems for us later. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna paint the shadow underneath the chin. And let's say the shadow goes to just right here, goes all the way around to the side of the chin, like so. And we're gonna get this area right here. And just take your time and be careful with it. You don't have to rush it. Just take your time. It's your painting. You do it however you like. So we get the edges and then we fill out the space. And we squeeze all of the paint out of the bristles by pressing it down flat. Just like so. So we have about 6 more minutes before we're going to stop and we're going to ask some questions. I'll make that 4 more minutes. And that's it for black. We move on to color number 2. Now, if you like, you can go ahead and lightly trace in where you want color number 2 to go. Or you could just go ahead and paint it. So you can just go ahead and lightly sketch in where color number 2 goes. This color represents shadow. So this shadow goes right along this side of the face. And that's basically where color number 2 is going to go. It's all on one side of the face. Now, I created this from my imagination. When you're working from your imagination, you almost have to create a world. Like in this world, the sun is up here somewhere to the right. And, you know, I can tell where the sun is because of where the shadows land. Right, now we're done with that. We're gonna pick up the number 6, round brush, and we're gonna paint this area. So we got about 2 more minutes before you guys can start asking some questions. And we go in with color number 2. We go right along this area. And again, the color should flow across the canvas. And I'm squeezing all of the paint out of my brush. I'm going right along the side of the face. All right, and got this side of the face done. All right, I think this is a good stopping point, and I think that's going to be it for today. I would like it if you guys finish this first layer of paint. We'll pick back up next time and finish the rest of the paint. Wow, 7:30 came really fast.
It did indeed.
Anyone have any questions?
Not yet. Busy trying to catch up.
It's okay. It's okay. Feel free to email me. My email is on the screen right now. It's erictfrancis@gmail.com. And if you haven't, go to Instagram and look up homecoming_masterclass. I'll be posting things about the upcoming class.
So I can't see your email address because it's blurred. Is it Eric what?
erictfrancis@gmail.com. I'm gonna write it inside the chat.
I'm gonna put it in. I'll put it in there for you. I'll put it in there for you.
Okay.
And if you haven't done so, make sure that you put your contact information in the chat so that when the video is completed and uploaded, if you need to refer back to it, we'll be able to shoot it to you.
Okay.
Well, if no one has any questions.
Okay, so when you said to finish this, are you referring to all the other colors that we have to put in?
Yes. Try to complete the first layer. If you can't, you can't. That's okay.
Okay.
But try to complete just the first layer.
Okay.
Link will take you directly and fill it out online. You're done. So stay with us just to remind you on Monday night, we're going to hear, if you'd like to tune in on Monday night, to Sonia Hessman. She'll be talking about music, art, and business of music. And then on Tuesday, we'll be here with Rashonda. And then on Wednesday, you won't want to miss the diva of music and activity, local brilliant woman, Brenda Wimberly, who will be the music of African American divas, focusing on her own performing for you as well, and take you from jazz and blues, and rhythm and who wants to. Come on, you were able to get the script. You could get the answer to what is rhythm and poetry. I don't see anyone answering. Rhythm and poetry is rap, and you will see it Hamilton style in Brenda's presentation. Thank you for that. Rhythm and poetry. Thank you. So stay tuned. Next week you should be with us every single night. Monday, Sonia Hester. Tuesday, Rashonda Spears. Wednesday, Brenda Wimberly. Thursday, Rashonda Spears. It's a big week. We hope you all stay with us the whole time. I see on our chat now, I also see and wanted to introduce you to another member of our management team, Dr. Karen Green is on. Dr. Karen Green will be performing in her own film and art workshop, which will be coming up soon. And there's Janice King from Southern University, Shreveport, and from the management team, Dr. Sharon Heron Williams, who will be talking. Sharon, if any of y'all want to let us see your face so that they can know that you'll be tuning in soon, but Dr. Sharon Heron Williams will be talking about soon the impact of HBCUs in the nation and particularly right here in Northwest Louisiana. Give us a wave, Dr. Sharon Heron. There you are, waving.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Dr. Sharon Green, can we see you since you'll be presenting in the very near future your workshop on art and the impact of film? I can't see her yet. Natorsha, do you want to please let us see your face? Natorsha Davis from Grambling State University, part of the management team as well. Thank you so much. All right.
Questions in the chat from anyone about anything? I thought I saw one that asked when was the next class. That next session again will be on September 22nd. Okay, so that will be the next session for portfolio. So we'll continue on with that. The next workshop, however, that I will be doing will be on next Tuesday, and that will be history of Grambling State University and its performing arts programming. And on with us we'll have Mrs. Mildred Gallo. We will also have Dr. Alex Marshall, and we will also have Mr. Albert Boston. So tune in for that, guys, to see where this all began at Grambling State University.
Great. And Sharon Green, Dr. Sharon Green, you want to say hello? You're going to be presenting on Monday, September 28th. Want to give a wave and hello? Unmute, please.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Y'all got to bear with me. I grew up with the Underwood typewriter. Didn't even know what a computer was. And baby, now I'm zooming. So I'm really excited. Krishana, you did a great job. And I am so excited about sharing my passion of film. And it really, all the arts roll right up into film. They really, really do. So I'm really excited. Can't wait to see all the rest of this. And we're going to keep on trucking, baby.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Francis, you have any parting words before we log out of here?
No, I just want to thank everybody for showing up, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next class. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Definitely.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. See you Tuesday.
All right, I think that's a wrap. I think that was a success, if I say so myself.
I think so.
Cool.
Went well. It went well.
I'm gonna let this play out for a little while so we can have the still on screen for editing purposes, I guess. All right, that's enough of that. Cool. I'm biased, but I think that was a success.
I think so too.
All right, so now we end the session. And I'll save a copy of the chat just in case.
Okay.
I know that it's supposed to be bundled in the download for the videos, but just in case. All right. Well, take it easy, sir. I'll see you next go round. Stay safe over there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Same to you.
Peace.